Seeing as how I go to school, a university, a nationally accredited university, I naturally meet a lot of idiots. So when I'm, conversing with these idiots, whether I have to be forced to or whatnot, it comes across a few things that just I can't allow to slip by. I'm a generally nice person. I'm not going to be a jerk to someone else, unless they say something that just makes no sense. And most of the time, these people are the kind of people that will not listen to reason, more or less. And so here's what I heard, okay? Oh, yeah, I can't believe it. Iraq, Iran, and all those Arab people. First of all, what? That is so stupid and ridiculous, okay? I'll tell you this. Iran is Persian, okay? And yes, we do mean the Persians of ancient times. The ones that fought the Greeks, for example. And the Middle East, it's such a broad term. And honestly, the Middle East should be its own continent. Why it's connected with Asia, I don't know. India should also be its own continent, for that matter. Really, what is a continent but an English word trying to describe and put some, basic understanding into groups geographically? That's what it is. It's like, oh, Asia culture. Explain to me the similarities between Japan and Iran. There are none, but yet they're both Asia. Makes no sense. Hey. Getting down to it again, Iran is not Iraq, okay? Iran has almost, 1% of its population is actually Arab, alright? Iraq, on the other hand, has many Arabs. It's mostly Arab. Then you have the Kurds in the north. Then, of course, in the Middle East, you have the Turks. And that just doesn't mean Turkey Turks, because they're their own group. Then you can have your Turks from Uzbekistan. They're the Uzbeks, but they're of the Turkic family. Kazakhs, who are obviously Kazakh in Kazakhstan, which is also part of the Turkic family. As well as Afghans. They're also part of the Turkic family. So you have Persians, Arabs, and Turks. Again, each one of these branches off. But the Arabs and the Persians have no connection in terms of anything but religion. That's the only thing. The Arabs fought the Persians, and that's why the Persians are Islamic. That's how you started the whole thing. That's why the Middle East is Islamic, well, more or less, because Muhammad decided to do his pillaging and raiding, which he did, in North Africa and Turkey all the way to India. If he didn't do it, his successors did. The point is, the Middle East is not full of Arabs, and there are distinct differences culturally and religiously, even in the same religion, between Iran and Iraq. That's one important thing to say. And then people make it seem like, oh, Iran, that leader, that man, he's really making fun of the U.S. I think we should bomb him. I've also heard that. I'm not joking. I have heard that. Okay, first of all, again, you're advocating death towards civilians. But he wants to bomb the U.S. Fine. If Barack Obama says he wants to bomb, pick a country, I don't care. Doesn't matter. Does that mean we should all die because Barack Obama feels like killing people? No. Same way with George W. Bush. It doesn't matter. One man is in charge of millions. That's fine. But one man's actions shouldn't be designated to all its people. Because all the people in Iran has a very good economy. Most people don't realize that either. Iran has a history much longer than the other ones. And arguably, it's much more sophisticated than others. How you break down the word sophisticated, I understand it's complicated to explain. But, literature, music, arts, film, all these things, Iran is successful in. And has been. And that's the difference. You can't just go in like you did Iraq. Iraq was fragmented when the U.S. came in, which makes it all the worse. Afghanistan, even more fragmented than it already was. Here's the thing. If the Russians can't beat the Afghans in the 70s, how can the U.S. beat the Afghans? The Afghans that now have Russian arms and ammunition. Say, oh, it's outdated. It doesn't matter. If you can't catch an outdated mouse, then he's still an outdated mouse that still lives. First of all, you shouldn't be killing them anyway. Point is, what I'm getting at is people are throwing Iran into some sort of basket with Iraq, and that's dangerous. Okay? U.S. shouldn't be in Iraq anyway. Obviously. We know this is how I feel. We know this is how the thinking man feels. We're not all thinkers. I understand this. But Iran is a country. Iraq really isn't. That's the difference. Iran has a cultural identity. Even though 20% of them are minority groups, if I'm not mistaken, Iran still has a distinct culture. And heck, if Iran wasn't as, because of the political leadership, not the people, if Iran didn't have such a political kind of anti-American view currently, Iran would be a dang cool place to visit. Historically, there are so many sites to see. A lot of sites. The Middle East in general, I would love to go. You know? That's why Turkey is amazing, because Turkey has a reputation of being a safe place. But at the same time, whenever someone wants to go beyond Turkey, I say, people think danger. Okay? I would love to go to Syria. There's a Syria town called Harasta, spelled the same way. I'm interested to go. So that's all I'm trying to say, is that please don't think of the Middle East as some sort of Arab inhabited. I mean, the three groups I said, the Turkish group, the Persians in Iran, and the Arabs, they're all broken down into even more groups, so different that they would just as easily kill each other, assuming the religion's not the same, as kill somebody else. So please be aware, this is once again a geographical issue, the fact that children know nothing of the geography. And even on Jeopardy, I couldn't believe it. These are supposedly intellectual individuals. They missed 3 straight geography questions, and I couldn't believe it. It was called Hainan was the question, and you were supposed to say, what country is that from? First people buzzing, Korea? Wrong. Next people buzzing, Japan? No, it's China. It's China's biggest island, and no, Taiwan does not count. It's right there. You can see it on any map. I don't care what kind of map you get. It's not like a tiny dot in the ocean. And yet we don't know about that. And if you can't locate an area in China, how in the world are you supposed to know about China? Oh, you don't. You just bomb them, man. No, that's not the answer. I'm sick of bombing being the answer. Thank you. And study your maps.